Hello, welcome back. Now, I have a challenge for you now. The challenge I have is that look at that your CV, and in your CV, you correctly put it. For example, if you're an accountant, I like using accountant example because I am an accountant. Now, assume you're an accountant or you are a secretary, you've studied, for example, information technology, computer science, and all that. Now, you've really worked on your CV, and your CV is really selling you how you are computer savvy, how you are good in Microsoft Office packages, Microsoft Word, Outlook, Excel, and all that. Now, you go to an interview and someone presents to you such kind of a data, and it is very simple because we are fond of singing and saying how good we are in basic computer knowledge, yeah. And then here you've already you have your degree, maybe the degree you've scored very good grades, and there you are in an interview and someone wants to test your knowledge. You are saying you studied computer. You are very good. In fact, people are fond of using this word that I'm proficient in Microsoft Excel. I'm proficient in Microsoft Office packages. I'm proficient in Microsoft Dynamics, Microsoft Navision. I'm very proficient in, for example, QuickBooks, very proficient in Sage, very proficient in Pastel, these ERP systems. You are selling yourself, you are saying you're proficient. You have excellent knowledge, right? Good. Now, I have a challenge for you today. The challenge is this: with all those nice words you are using in your CV to portray your good knowledge of computer, you get into an interview and then someone presents to you such kind of a data, and this person asks you a very simple question. Now, the question is, now we have employees in our payroll in the month of October, and in the month of October, we have these employees, and then the data is the hiring date of each employee. No, we are starting with the ID, the job ID of the employee. We have the names of those employees. We have the department where they work. We have the hiring date. We have the office where they are located. Companies have branches and all that. So you've been given a column for the office. Then the state where this employee works, assuming this is an international company or it's situated in different towns in a country and something like that. Then basic salary column is given. Then the bonus that they were paid is also given in the month of October. Then commission that they were paid, for example, some extra, they are being paid commission depending on maybe each of them achieving a certain target, right? Then we have personal days, the days which they have, for example, they have leave days and all that. They have sick days, sick leave. And then there is the overall score, which is there. Good. So this one should be overall. So let me just type it that way, overall score. Good. So now you've been given this data, and then this person goes ahead to tell you now, besides our payroll in the month of October, the data for employees in the month of November, we are also giving you the data for our employees in the month of November. Then this person also gives you the same for the month of November, like that. Yeah. I don't know why my cursor is stopped moving. Yeah, good. For the month of November is also given there. And the same details: ID, names, department, hiring date, office, state, where the employee works, and all that, up to the end where you also have the overall score, like that. This one should be overall score, like that. Now, your CV is very much pimped, and someone is asking you, now, my friend, there are some employees who are there in the month of October, but in the month of November, some of them retired, some of them were laid off. Yeah, some of them retired and some of them were laid off. We can just say, for example, some of them were laid off, for example. They were laid off. Or they retired. Let me use the word retired. Laid off sounds too harsh. Yeah. So let me say they were laid off. So that means there are some employees who will be there in the month of October. But when you come to the month of November, they are not there. Right? You get that? That is the first question. And this person is asking you, kindly help me identify those employees who were retired, who retired in the month of October, therefore they are not in the month of November. Kindly let me know those employees. The second part, we have employees details for the month of November. In this month of November, some employees were employed. What does that mean? These employees were not there in the month of October, but coming to the month of November, now they were employed. And this person is going ahead to ask you, kindly help us identify these employees who were employed in the month of November. You are there, you are in a suit, you are in your best outfit, your papers are there, they are really shining with all the very good grades. Yeah, you've already indicated you have excellent knowledge. Do you know people misuse the word excellent in their CVs, right? You have excellent, you are proficient. Now you are here to prove. Now, someone is asking you, tell me the employees who retired in the month of October and tell me the employees who were employed in the month of November. Now, check on this data. How many rows do we have? How many people do we have? I want to check just very quick. You see, we have 525 employees. In the month of October, there were 525. You see this row number? 525. In the month of November, how many do we have? In the month of November, we have how many? We have 531 employees. Now, tell me, if you do not have this knowledge, if you are not well equipped with this Excel knowledge, tell me how you will pass this interview examination. Tell me how you will answer the employees who retired in October and the employees who are employed in the month of November. Will you start going one by one? Huh? You want to start comparing names. You see, for example, employee number one is Muta Kip Kemboi. You go to the month of November, you look for Muta Kip Kemboi. You start scrolling, right? You start scrolling. You start scrolling and looking for Muta Kip Kemboi. Muta Kip Kemboi. Muta Kip Kemboi. Do you think this interview panel, these people seated there, will wait for you to start scrolling one by one? You check if the employee who is in October is also found in November one by one, and you check if there are employees who are in November but they were not in October. Someone has given you 2 minutes or 5 minutes to give me that data. You will start sweating. If you don't have this knowledge, you'll start sweating. That's why I want to encourage you today. This is not just for accountants. In this current job market in this country, Kenya, employers will want to shortlist. If you are called for an interview and these people see there are a lot of people in the interview, maybe panel, the interviewees are so many. For example, we can see we have around 60 people already shortlisted as qualified, but now we want to trim them down. We only need 2 people for this kind of job. Now, we only need 2 people, and one of the requirements in that job advert is that must have good knowledge of Microsoft Office packages, must be proficient in computer packages, right? That was there. And all of you have papers, you have certificates from different colleges. Some of you have degrees in IT, degrees in computer science. Now, you narrow down and sit and look at this, my friend. Someone gives you 5 minutes. What tool will you apply to be able to get this answer very fast? I'm here to show you the reason why you need to learn some of these concepts, my friends. This is very important, not just for accountants, even you as a professional in your field. This can help you, can save you big time. Assume not even an interview setup. You go somewhere, you get such kind of data. It might not be about employees. It might be, for example, the names of anything. For example, items, the goods or something, and you're told there are some goods that were there in the list of goods in the month of October, but in the month of November, they are not there. Identify those goods. Now, there is a lot of fraud that is being perpetrated in payroll where, for example, you're dealing with so many employees. We call them what? Ghost workers, right? You know the ghost workers? Now, ghost workers. Then this company tells you, we want to employ you here. There was a previous accountant who was here. And this person, we realized that there are some employees who normally are brought in into our payroll, but they are really not our employees. We normally pay them. Now, help us identify. You've been given, for example, data running for the past 1 year. Yeah, and you're being told there are employees who are being introduced and sometimes they are not being introduced across the period. kindly help us identify which employees are this. And sometimes there are so many employees, like in this case, you see we have how many employees? There are over 500 employees, 525, for example, in the month of October. What tool will you use to narrow down? If you want to go step by step, one by one, you might take years. You might not be able to deliver. Now, to make your work easy, I want to tell you that Excel knowledge is very important and it will help you to narrow down this. Now, let's go. Let us go. Let us go. Let us go. Now, let us go and see how interesting Excel will help us perform that kind of